Well, here we are on Crickbuzz Combox. They often say that the color pink is meant to be a more royal color. At the moment, whether you believe that or not, it's the Red Royals who are dominating in Mumbai. Just a sheer comparison at the 10 over mark. 70 for 4 is what Rajasthan were at the halfway stage. Bangalore have far outscored them and haven't lost a single wicket. It is not even a comparison. 107 without loss. And look at that. 80 of those runs have been scored by Devdutt Padikkal. Virat Kohli, the legendary Virat Kohli, still trying to find his feet in this tournament. 26 of 24. It's a perfect platform for him to go on to get an unbeaten 50. Bhomi Ambangwa in Crickbuzz Combox with me. In terms of the result, it's looking like 4 out of 4 for Bangalore, but so many individual games being played within that.
Yeah, look, you never want to call a game too early, not a 2020 game. I don't think you want to, but I must agree with you. It's looking that way. And I tell you why I say you don't want to call it early. If the great Virat Kohli can struggle as he is doing, it's not often he'll score at a runner ball in a 2020 game on a surface that we say is quite good. If that's happening with him, just imagine if the wicket that falls is that of Devdutt Padikkal, a guy who's striking it quite comfortably, smashing it all over the place, and the next person who comes in finds it difficult as well. Then perhaps things could change. I'm not suggesting for a second that it will change. So if you're an RCB fan, yeah, calm down. I'm just painting the scenarios, right? It would be wonderful if you're a Rajasthan Royals supporter if that did happen. But they are desperate for a wicket. It's just been red domination and so good to see Padikkal in the runs again.
Couple of interesting numbers. One is, of course, this happens to be the highest 10 over score of the season. So that shows their dominance. Two, and this one you like, Pommy, this is the first century stand for the men in red, for RCB, since an opening stand, of course, we're referring to, since 2017. That was against the Gujarat Lions. Kohli was involved again. Kohli was the less dominant partner again, along with, of course, the universe boss.
Yeah, I mean, gee, you're turning the clock back a long time if you're going back to a time when the universe boss was in the Royal Challengers Bangalore side. So it just goes to show you that despite how well they have gone, even though they've bowled quite well up at the front, batted quite well up at the front some of the time, they don't score 100 partnerships, right? It just doesn't happen, they go out, they smash it, they might get many runs and so forth, but 1 down, 2 down quite quickly, and then De Villiers, Kohli come together and away they go. So yeah, it's a top job. It's one I think that will give them a lot of confidence as a side, because turning up at a different surface and still managing to dominate, I think, is a big feather in their cap.
Yeah, it certainly is. And as I said, that other connection on that occasion, Gale dominated the partnership. Here it's Padikkal dominating, but it would be good for Kohli to finish like he finished on that day in 2017. He got to 100. Won't have a chance to get to 100 here, but an unbeaten 50 would be perfect. Well, it wasn't 100. It wasn't 100. I was just trying to get those grey cells going. But certainly, one thing's in common. He did finish it strongly. But let's talk about the bowling. Is there something they could do differently? They've tried everything from the sidearm deliveries to just about every bowler they've tried has been used. What can they do differently when they see a team going like a train?
Sometimes you got to doff your cap. And I suppose, when I say you got to doff your cap, Padikkal's playing well. And why I say that is because when it comes to Virat, they're managing to bog him down. They're managing to bowl good balls to him that he's not able to hit out the ground. It's not the case that they're just bowling bad deliveries to Padikkal. He's making shots and he's doing well. And I think at the beginning, it was a case of trying to get him out and perhaps even expecting that they'd get him out. They needed some time ago now to kind of go into defensive mode and see where it is they feel that he's not going to be able to whack boundaries, get him off strike and bowl to, and you'd never say this normally, bowl at Virat, bowl more at Virat Kohli and try and frustrate Padikkal that way by not letting him have the strike so that he gets a bit antsy and perhaps tries to do more than he should. It's a tough one though, because all that must happen as a side in 2020 cricket. When it's not going for you, you've got to try and find a way to just hang in there. If they can somehow hang in there, not have too much damage happen right now, then perhaps at the back end, they could come back into it somewhat. It's not looking likely though, sadly.
Yeah, probably no straws around Pommy Mbangwa, but a straw-colored door I see right behind him, which he was clutching to if you were a Bangalore fan, or rather if you were a Rajasthan fan, because it looks like a foregone conclusion, because even if that wicket were to fall, even if that wicket were Padikkal, you've got the likes of Maxwell, you've got the likes of AB de Villiers still waiting with bat in hand to use these wonderful conditions. We'll come back probably a little sooner than we expect.
One ball. It only takes one ball for each of those. One. Then suddenly the game. You never know. You never know.
That is why
there is always hope.
That is why Pommy Mbangwa was a bowler, and he has that mentality to continue to believe. You wouldn't want to be a bowler in Mumbai, but you still have to keep believing. We'll see you soon. This was Cricket Buzz Combox.